Welcome to Get More Happy. We invite you to journey with us as we find ways, big and small, to get more happy in your life.
Hey.
Hi, it's Elena.
And Becca.
And she's visiting home from college this weekend.
Yay.
So, and we have today's topic is going to be about fight, flight, or freeze. So most people recognize for stress response the fight and flight, right? But there is a third one, and it's freeze. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about those responses and about the good and bad aspects of them, because we all tend to think of fight or flight and freeze in a negative connotation, but there are times where we can use them to our advantage, and they can really help us through a stressful situation.
Definitely.
Yeah. So first of all, when you think of fight, what are some of the negative connotations?
Like aggressive or,
Aggression, paranoia a little bit, like people are against me. Yeah, like even, like
angry.
Yeah, angry. And flight.
Like scared. I think
Scared.
of like you're scared and you're
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fleeing, afraid, cowardly,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And what about freeze?
like, just frozen and like fear again is what I think.
Yeah, paralyzed.
Yeah.
Now, you have been, school is stressful.
College, yes.
Yeah. And there's kind of one of those that you've learned a lot about lately.
Definitely freeze. I've been struggling in my classes. It's college, it's difficult. And I've been getting very stressed out and having a lot of anxiety about it. And instead of being like, okay, well, what can I do to like get my work done? I'm like, oh, I'm just not gonna do it. And I like freeze and I get scared and I put it off and then I don't get it done and it's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we figure we are all of us, familiar with fight, flight, freeze as a stress, a fear. Actually, you said it right, because all of those fear kind of came in.
Yeah.
Even with the fight, your aggression because you're afraid.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how we can utilize those things for good. So in my mind, fighting. So there can definitely be times where you need to fight for what you want. You need to evaluate. Yeah, go ahead.
It can come out in like standing up for what you think is right. And like it doesn't necessarily have to be like aggressive, or like when I think of like the fight response, I think of like, oh,
Yeah.
But it can be like standing up and having a voice.
Justice. It can be justice.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Standing up for what you believe in and what you think is right. Or it can be working harder at your schoolwork.
Exactly. Exactly.
And making sure that you like pass those classes instead of freezing and getting scared.
So tell them what happened the other day when we were talking about you being paralyzed. And then we started, and you were like, well, maybe, so classes being tough.
Yeah.
And Becca was stuck in freeze. And she was contemplating flight.
Yep.
Pretty hard.
Yep.
It was, well, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I'll just choose something different. Maybe I'll change my degree. Maybe I'll this, maybe I'll that. And she came home this weekend, which was very fortunate. And we started talking. We started talking about, okay, really, that's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice. So what else would you do? And she was like, well, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this. And so then we started talking, well, what would that look like? And then we started talking about, well, why do you want to be an engineer? What do you want to do within engineering? And I think up until this point, you're a sophomore in college.
Yes.
And up until this point, it's always been I like math. I guess I'll be an engineer.
Right. Like that's what you do with math.
Right. And then when we looked into
Jobs.
Yeah, when you looked into jobs, or when we looked into what type of engineering even, you were like, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then just a few days ago when we were chatting, and we were talking about like new like places opening up around the area, and like maybe like what I would like want to get like an internship with, and like maybe what like I would want to do like as a job like when I graduate and stuff. And I was, you know, thinking a lot about like, oh, what do I actually want to do, and decided like, okay, I actually do want to do this. Like I actually do want to do what I'm doing, and it's worth it to, I mean, it's gonna be hard, it just is. And instead of freezing or fleeing I, you know, like
it brought you into a good part of fight, a part of you made a decision that, hey, I do want to do this, so it's worth the extra work.
Yeah.
So instead of it being fight, it's I'm gonna work hard.
Right, but it's the same, like.
Right, I know. We're just trying to reframe these words a little bit, right? So fight can be used for justice. It can be used to buckle down and work hard. You know, it could be used to getting through hard times, that, okay, I'm going to overcome, you know, whatever challenge is in front of me. So what are the good aspects of fleeing?
I mean, sometimes
Mom?
you ever do this? I mean, there are good, sometimes like it's good to get out of a situation that you like, if you don't feel comfortable in a situation, like it's sometimes like good to like get out of that situation. Right.
I think also there are times where we actually smartly were having this discussion. Do you want to do, like, let's reevaluate. Life has changed. You've changed. You know, let's evaluate your career path. Right.
I mean, in my whole entire life, you've told me, like, if you like go into college doing this major, this specific thing, and then halfway through college you decide you want to do something else, or even you get this degree and you're in the job for however many years, and then somewhere along the road you're like, oh, I don't like this anymore. Like, it's like you've always said, like you've always like made it clear to me that like it's okay to change my mind.
And that's where flee, I think, is good too. I think so. Yes, getting out of bad situations, but also to me, fleeing can also be that changing your mind. Evaluating, looking at the situation. Do I really like what I'm doing? Do I like the work I have to put into this? Is there something else that would suit me better? This challenge is, I'm facing this challenge, and not as a flee, like I'm going to run away because life's not going to bring me any challenges. Well, that's not going to happen. But, you know, just to, maybe it is a time to pause and be like, oh, wait, you know, this is not what I want. You know, I want to change my mind. And then for freezing, for me, that's exactly what freeze is good for. Freeze is good for that time to stop and reevaluate. And it can be do I want to, what response do I want to take? You know, like, is this going to be worth it for me? Or is this trying to have, you know, tell me I should change directions? I think the other thing that freezing can be good for is there are certain things in our life that you and I, dealing with anxiety,
it's fun,
tend to not over, it cycles in the brain. And it takes on more of a dramatic tone than it needs to, right? And freeze can allow those situations to maybe resolve themselves. There's certain things that you and I like immediately try to fix that
or maybe it's not,
doesn't need to be fixed.
And if at that exact second.
Exactly. And if you wait a little longer, it works itself out. And then we didn't have to put all that energy and effort into it. So those to me are the good things about the freezing part of it. And for you realized that it was, you know, you're so in tune with looking for signs. You know, you're so in tune with looking for signs that sometimes you look too hard for them.
That's true.
And the fact when things got hard, you immediately went to freeze. It was a freeze because I don't know, does this mean I should flee? Does this mean this isn't right for me? And so I think I would hope that you learned from this that that's not what freeze is. Freeze isn't stop. Freeze is pause
Yep.
and
That's good.
evaluate.
Yep.
Pause and evaluate.
Pause and evaluate.
Not paralyzed and stop and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we hope that that was helpful today. But also we are on all sorts of different platforms.
Lots of social media. You guys have a blog.
We do have a blog.
We have these videos. We're on TikTok at Getmorehappy.
Which is fun. We do a motivation moment every day. Every day.
Every single day.
It's super
we
short.
Switch off and
Lisa jumps
sometimes
in.
Lisa
Yeah.
does one, and we have like a 15 to like 30 second
Yeah.
like little
Motivation
motivational
moment. We're on Twitter. So, and actually Jessie is managing the Twitter and the Instagram. Yeah. So if you comment, I know that a lot of times on TikTok, it's either you or I that comments back to them. We always respond if we can.
If we can.
Yeah. And then on either Twitter or Instagram, it's Jessie or I that comment on things.
Yeah.
And we also, on our blogs, sometimes we just write a blog because we're feeling it. And other times we like to answer questions.
So if you have any questions, DM us.
Exactly, on any of the platforms. You can comment on this. Oh, we have a YouTube channel
We do.
where all of these videos live. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, our website at getmorehappy.com where you can see the videos. We used to do podcasts, that was just sound, and the blogs. And then we also have our inspirational Monday inspiration, which is usually like just a fun quote or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, connect with us. That's what we really want. We love hearing from people. We love when you comment. Any of those platforms is great.
Yeah.
So Instagram,
Twitter.
Facebook,
We have so Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
TikTok,
YouTube,
Wow.
website.
Website.
We got a lot of stuff.
All right. There you go. All right. Have a happy day.
Y'all have a good one.